And we are live again. Welcome to the Blue Eyed Devil podcast, streaming on Amazon, Apple, 403LC, and of course on Spotify. It's seen a few hits this week as we've come out of the Easter week, having spoken to Kathleen Wynne, and very much enjoyed that conversation and the number of different interesting topics that came up together. But I got to say, I'm just as excited for my guest this week. My guest this week is known for spinning music downtown Toronto at Bar Poet, at Kissa nightclub, and most recently creating a vibe at a LeBron James party. Mike Don't, DJ Mike Don't. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So, Mike, you and I don't know each other exceptionally well, but we have run in similar circles for a long time, and we have some people who we both care about quite deeply.
Yeah.
And I got to say, as I introduce you, I can't introduce you any other way than to say that we have some mutual friends. And one of them especially, the way you're described, is somebody who shows up in hard moments, who shows up in great moments, somebody who shows up for people. So I wanted to open by saying that, Mike. That's how I know you, is you're somebody who shows up.
Well, thank you. No, and you know, especially for that person, like we've known each other since the age of 13, 14, and like we've always kind of been there for each other. We've always, we've had our downs and as long as our ups as well. But no, we've always just been there. So whenever she needs me, I've been there, and because of that, it's kind of opened up other avenues for me for the exact same reason. So it's been interesting.
It's a beautiful thing when somebody shows up for you. I know that because in my life I've had people show up for me often in some of the darkest moments. And this person, who's Rory's Auntie Shannon, and I'll say I don't think she'll mind if I say it.
What up, Shannon?
Shannon. Shannon and I and you, we lost a friend in Shannon's former partner Rob, who was Rory's uncle. And I think sometimes in the toughest times, it binds people together more closely.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So DJ Mike Don't is somebody who shows up. But I'll tell you, I've really enjoyed the last little while. I've had a chance to come out and hear you making music.
Several times.
You making music. And I got to say, there's no better vibe in Toronto than when you're making it. I got to say, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Thank you.
How do you tell me? How do you get a playlist going? I know people from back in the day, Shannon and others who say you made the best mixtapes. But how do you go from the guy who made the best mixtapes to the guy who is creating a vibe at LeBron's party?
Well, for Kissa, it's interesting because their vibe overall is they only want 90s and the 2000s hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
Throw a bit of reggae in there as well.
Yeah.
So given that kind of, I wouldn't say restriction, but it's like an opening. Like that's all you could do. So you get creative with what you could be able to do there and have fun. So it just, that music alone already brings the vibe. So it's not okay. Now kind of use, maybe some like B-sides that people haven't heard in a while, or, you could play the hits, but maybe I'll play like, some Redman that, someone hasn't heard in a long time. But play something that's a little bit different and kind of use that to bring a different vibe.
I've been in with a few friends over the last few months, and everyone who's of our era, which, we were in high school in the 90s, and everyone who comes in, they feel like they know the music. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? All of a sudden they're back in a place where they thought they'd forgotten.
And that's the biggest thing about Kissa, because that's the vibe they want, because it's on King Street. So King Street, you usually have, you could play all the Drakes and all the, the top 40 and all the trap and everything. But they always want Kissa to be that just a little bit different. And that's why, like, say, for example, during dinner time, they just want you to play vinyl.
Love it.
So I'm just playing, like disco and funk and Motown, just play strictly vinyl, just to bring, because it's King Street. You want something, you want to stand out. You want to blend in like everybody else. So.
And what kind of crowd do you get down there Friday and Saturday nights?
Sometimes you get a mix. Sometimes you get the young kids, but sometimes like the young kids will surprise you. They'll be singing the same R&B songs that people like 20 years older than them are singing. And so it gets very interesting, and the crowd it changes from week to week. Usually like dinner time, it's just the place is full of women. If you're a single guy in Toronto, come to Kissa for dinner and drinks. There are plenty of women, so you could definitely find women there. But then as soon as you get kind of into like the more club moments and whatnot, sometimes the crowd changes. Sometimes I've done like just 90s house there because we had an older crowd. Like that was, like the late 40s, early 50s. Okay, I know you guys are going to appreciate this. Let me drop this for you. Then you'll maybe have some maybe our age or maybe a little bit younger. Okay, let's, do like the early 2000s. Like you kind of just try to switch it up every week, every day, just because as the crowd changes, you don't want to be doing the same thing. So
that's pretty cool to be able to speak to, and music is a language, right? It is, right? Yeah. So being the master, the MC, being the guy who's making it happen, you get to speak to the crowd in a very particular way, right? So you got to read them too.
Yeah.
What's that like? How do you read a group and decide what it is you want to come at them with?
So a friend of mine, Doug, when I was at Bar Poet. Yeah. I still am at Bar Poet, but
Mondays.
Doug would come by and he's like, all right, who's your heat check? So what we do is we call someone a heat check. We'll pick kind of like the specific group that we see, okay, you know what, they're grooving, they're having a good time. Let's play to them a little bit more and see, how they vibe to this. And if they start vibing, will other people start vibing? Okay, so we got that table vibing, we got that table. That one, not so much. What if I drop this? Oh, I see a head. Okay, let me play something that may get them going. Okay. So you try to read the crowd and adjust. I had something similar. I was playing at Bangarang one night.
Yeah.
And there was a 50th birthday party. So they're in the back, kind of just dancing. I was playing all the new stuff, though. So they're, kind of dancing because, they want to, be with all the young kids. They had a group of the women, maybe like 20, 21, at the front of the stage.
Yeah.
And they're dancing, but when I get them dancing, the 50th birthday party's not dancing. When I get them dancing, that group's not dancing.
Okay.
And when that group is dancing, there was one girl particularly, just eye contact.
And you care. I can see it. You care. You want everyone to be up dancing.
Oh, you want everybody to be up dancing.
Yeah.
So I think for like that instance, I think that was the first time I did this mashup where I played Justin Bieber's Sorry. Because this is before like Serato stems were a thing, so you could just make matchups on the fly.
Yeah.
I had Justin Bieber's Sorry, I had the acapella, and I ended up throwing that on top of Dancing Queen.
Oh, sick.
So, everybody loves Dancing Queen as it is. So I'm like, all right, I know this will definitely get everybody dancing, but let me play the Justin Bieber and get that young group dancing first and kind of like this, that would be the warm-up to when I drop this. And when everything just dropped and you hear Justin Bieber's Sorry over the chorus over Dancing Queen, that 50th table went crazy. Everyone just goes, I'm like, all right, I'm going to put that one in my pocket and use that for future reference. So
love it.
Yeah, you just have to kind of pick and choose and like, all right, how can you adjust on the fly and try to make things a little bit different for everybody?
What does it take to get LeBron up on the floor dancing? Like when you and it's, I know you've done this more than once, and I think it was just this week you were spinning for a LeBron party.
So last summer LeBron was in town doing a party for his liquor brand.
Is it Carabana?
Yeah, it's for Carabana.
Yeah.
And they asked me to warm up before his DJ comes on. Okay, cool. So I warmed up and whatnot. LeBron came, and I didn't know LeBron was coming. It wasn't until I got in and I heard the staff was talking about like, just their nightly, okay, this is what was going to happen, these are the events, how everything works. I overheard them say LeBron's coming. I'm like, nobody told me LeBron's coming. So now you're on your phone quickly looking up, okay, what songs do LeBron like? Okay, that. So then he likes like a lot of his, surprisingly likes a lot of like 70s and stuff like that. So I was playing like Toto's Georgie Porgy. And I was playing that as soon as he came in.
Yeah.
Not knowing he was coming in right that second, I was playing it. And he comes in. So now the guy's two-stepping it. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. All right, what else is on this list that he liked? Okay, cool. Oh, you know what? He's going to like some Camp Low. Okay, cool. Let me play some Camp Low. So I'm playing Camp Low. He's bobbing to it. But then his DJ comes, and now we're trying to transition from me to his DJ, but his DJ hooks into the system, no sound.
Oh, no, okay.
So now here I am trying to DJ, and also help his DJ debug it.
Yeah.
So now like you're hearing train wrecks happening and this and that. I'm like, oh, no. So it was okay. I didn't play for him long, but then his DJ played. Now his DJ dropped, just purely like Jay-Z and this and that. And then out of the middle of nowhere dropped like Anita Baker and LeBron sing to that. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, man.
So I stayed that night to kind of pay attention. Okay, what's this guy doing? Because I'm not used to playing before a bunch of Americans. I'm used to playing for the Toronto crowd. So it's different, right?
It is.
So now knowing all this and seeing this happen, now when they called me, so 24 hours, like, hey, Mike, can you play for this party with LeBron? So I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And they're like, okay, you're just going to be the warm-up DJ again. Okay, not a big deal. But now knowing my previous information, LeBron comes in, I'm playing just straight hard 90s hip-hop. I'm playing Biggie. I'm playing Das Effects. I'm playing Redman. I was just going at it. But doing this, you see LeBron with his people, head down. He's just rapping along to everything. So I'm like, all right, cool, got him. But then, you kind of keep escalating the night because now more women are coming in and this and that. So you're trying to, play for a little bit. Everybody get the women singing along because, once you get the women start dancing, because when only LeBron, the Lakers were in town because they had the game the next night. So you had other Lakers players that were there as well.
I didn't even think about that. So he wasn't just that he was up visiting. He was on a road trip.
Yeah, he's on the road trip.
Okay, I'd forgotten it.
So it was cool. So no, like it was a great party. But like I said, knowing he liked some of the old stuff, so I started playing some 70s at some point. So not all the women were dancing, but LeBron and other guys, they're singing along, hands up, they're dancing. So you're trying to have fun with it. I played like Luther, played Prince, the fun stuff. So they were really all dancing. And then as the night got on, maybe playing a little bit more new hip hop, more Jay-Z, throw this in. And then someone came over and said, LeBron and his people are looking for some like R&B and Afro beats. And the girls were requesting, shoot.
Make it happen,
not a big deal. So at this point, I said I was supposed to be the warm-up DJ. So the other DJ came in, he was going to play, but he couldn't get hooked into the system again either. Okay. And the system's nothing crazy, but for whatever reason, his firmware wasn't up to date or whatever, software. Who knows? So now I'm playing the whole entire night. But because of
it's a nice surprise.
I can't complain because I was already escalating the night, like building the night.
Yeah.
So now that he can't play, now it's just time to bang everything out, just go at it. So at that point, everybody's kind of hands up, dancing, singing, rapping along. LeBron was standing on the booth, just rapping, doing his thing. Like wow. It was a fun party. That's the best way I could describe it. It was just a fun party. There was no trouble. One guy. So the rule was you couldn't take any pictures.
Yeah.
So one guy whipped out his camera to take a picture.
Yeah.
Apparently security was on him, and then he was out. So, but no, it's just it was fun. No scandals, no nothing. I know I had one person say, "Hey, you did LeBron's party. Was there any things you see?" Like, no, everybody just had a good time.
It's just a great time.
Yeah.
I say to lots of people, who's the coolest person I know in the city, and you're one of them. I'm not gonna lie, right? Like when you're the guy DJing on King Street and you're hosting LeBron parties and you're having a good time. But I will say, man, like that's not all you do. You're dad.
Dad as well, yeah.
Right? You're getting home from Kissa at what time, and you're getting up in the
4:30, and then you're up the next day because a kid has swimming class or. So our kid has a dance or something or other. Yeah, it's
how many kids? Tell me about the kids. How many kids you have?
Got 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. The oldest is about to go into high school in September. So
what do they think about DJ Mike Don't?
My younger 2, because they're 5 and 7. It doesn't really hit them yet. They're just like, okay, see daddy playing music. Let's hit the buttons on their stuff.
Sure.
The oldest, it doesn't phase her a whole lot, but she knows, okay, daddy's the DJ. When I told her I was doing the LeBron party, she goes, oh, make sure you say hi for me. I'm like, okay, I will.
Did you?
No. I had to think about that for a second. Because whenever I spoke to LeBron at the party, it was purely about music. I didn't want to talk, let's talk about basketball. No, I was like, what do you want to hear? Yeah. I know, I've heard this before. Is this cool? Do you want this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't keep it to what we're here for. I don't want to, impede on, anything else for him. Like, I just want to make sure he's having a good time, and that was it. But no, I think my oldest, she's, I think she thinks it's cool, but she doesn't. It's still for her, like, because she doesn't see it. They're not at any events I'm usually doing because I'm not really doing anything that that's family friendly or during the day. So, but no, she's okay with it. She grew up around it. So
your schedule's got to be pretty busy trying to make fatherhood, nightlife, DJing, full time job on top of that. How do you make it all work?
You just do.
Yeah,
you don't have an option. You show up. You have no other option but to.
Yeah. Is it all passion work? Is everything you do passion work? Because it seems like DJing is.
Yeah, DJ is passion work. What I do for full time, it's when I finished college, I said to myself, and as corny as it sounds, I want to do something to help people and businesses work more efficiently.
Love it.
So thankfully, the niche I fell into did that, and I've been doing that for my whole career. So that's also passion as well. And then my family, of course, that's pure passion.
So if you could DJ 5-6 nights a week, would you do it?
No, it's too tiring.
Okay.
And then I won't be able to show up for the family.
That's it, right? Yeah. So it's an interesting balance you're carrying.
Yeah.
Very cool, though. Very cool. No, when I said to my son, who's sitting over there executive producing today, that you hosted a LeBron party, he was like ready to like call all his friends on the phone. He thought that was the coolest thing because both he and I we talked about it in our own podcast. We like to wear our LeBrons, so nice. We're Team LeBron around here. Nice. We certainly are. Although, when it comes to the big debate, and I will ask you,
okay,
I think we're Team Jordan when it comes to the greatest of all time.
every generation has their best player. You have Jordan, you have Kobe, you have LeBron.
And that's it? That's the end of the discussion?
I try to keep it safe. I try to stay out of it. Because you see it always online. Everyone's trying to fight it. I'm like, it's such a tough thing because they're both great at what they do. I mean, yes, everyone wants to say Jordan because, Jordan, had more rings and everything. But then LeBron, if you look at his stats are a whole lot more as well. I don't know. I would say it's different because Jordan has a certain mentality. And you saw that on the court. Kobe had a certain mentality, and we all know Mamba mentality. Like, that was very strong. You saw it on the court. Totally. LeBron has a mentality as well. Is it as strong as Kobe's? Well, no, Kobe's is just trumps everybody. Yeah. But it's also just different, right? So that's what I'm like, I'm very on the fence with who's the greatest because, I mean, thankfully we're old enough that we've seen them all play, so we could, have that opinion. But having said that, I mean, like, LeBron's great. Kobe is my favorite. Between Kobe, Sean Kemp, and I can't remember who the other one. I would say Vince. Between Kobe, Sean Kemp, and Vince, those are my favorite players.
Toronto, it's got to be, right?
Yeah. So that's what I'm like. You see LeBron do some things. You're like, wow, that's amazing. You see Jordan when he was in his prime do some things. Yeah. It was like, wow, look at that. Like, I remember when he won this. Was it? Who did he win his first three-peat against? Was it against Phoenix?
No, it wasn't.
Who was it again? The first three-peat.
I can't remember now.
I remember watching that game too. I'm like, wow.
No, it was art, and we were kids, we were teenagers, and I said recently on another podcast how I never saw Jordan live play for the Bulls, but I did get to see him play live for the Wizards. Mm-hmm. But what we watched on television at night really was art. It was. I never saw anything like it, and for a guy who could go completely change his body to play baseball for a couple of years and then come back and win 3 more, it's very special. Yeah. I will say though, in the last couple of years, I'm grateful for Kobe, and if he had a ghostwriter, I'm grateful for the ghostwriter too, because some of his Mamba mentality stuff is deep, is brilliant, and is a resource for dads raising children. It really is, right? Like, I got this 10-year-old guy over here who I love very much, and I'm always looking for resources to better help shed light for him. And there's a story Kobe tells about when he was 6. He was at, I think it was like karate class, and he got pinned up against an 8-year-old black belt, and he had to fight him. And he said he'd never been more scared before, and he was kind of trembling. And he went in and he did it, and he got his ass beat. But he realized he didn't get his ass beat as bad as he thought he would, and it didn't hurt as bad as he thought he would, and it wasn't as embarrassing as he thought it would. And he said, that's the last time I was ever intimidated. I won't ever be intimidated again because, I can take a beating and keep going. I think as dads, sometimes we have to help our kids understand that because they're going to trip and fall and fail, right? And they got to be able to pick themselves up. Yep. And a guy who worked out 3-4 times a day who lived that kind of life has a lot to say to us, I think.
Yep, I agree. I would agree.
But LeBron is just a masterpiece. Very few people can, even with all of Michael's art and all of Kobe's brilliance, I do think that LeBron's longevity, his
even as a person. So the first time I DJed for LeBron, he came into the room, he said hi to everybody.
Wow.
Where you're behind the bar, getting preparing for the night, everything. He came into the room and just said hi to everybody, shook everyone's hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this, even just as a person, I respect that. Because how many other people I've played with other NBA players that have come into the room. Not all of them have done that. Or other celebrities. LeBron made an effort to come say hi to everybody. So I'm like, that just brings more respect because he's showing his gratitude and whatnot. So
when you look at the beginning of the pandemic and the bubble and the leadership role he took around Black Lives Matter, the leadership role, he's taken a number of times when players have been marginalized for things that maybe even their fault, right? Even Kyrie and some of the things that he said. But LeBron is somebody who, when the time is right, uses his enormous pulpit to be able to bring people back from the edge. And it is a beautiful thing to see. I got a lot of respect for him. So it's nice to hear him in Toronto and having a good time, and you getting to facilitate that.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I complain.
You up for a little rapid fire? I like to do a little rapid fire sometimes, where I'll give an option, or you down for it? Little. For it. So we're streaming on Apple, Spotify, 403LC, Google Podcasts, which is now just streaming straight off YouTube, and you can find us at 403LC. But we're going to do a little rapid fire here on the Blue Eyed Devil podcast, and let's get started.
I'm down for it.
All right. So, DJ Mike, don't. Kissa or Bar Poet?
Kissa.
We're both from a little town called Markham that is now not so little. You went to a different high school than I did, but there were two others that were Maine, and it was Brother Andre and Markham District High School. Which one would you go with?
Markham District.
I love it. Staying with the blue and white. It's good. It's good. It's good. And we'll do one more Markham one. So back in Markham, there are some watering holes that folks like to get their wings and stuff at. So I've asked people this in the past. So Duchess of Markham on Main Street Markham, or Jake's on Main in Unionville?
Jake's on Main.
Oh, terrible. That's her.
You're an East Markham kid. I'm not an East Markham kid. East Markham kids who grew up around like Old Markham, yeah, that was their spot. But I was more that we'd go to Unionville and go get drinks or go hang out at Two Good Pond or get ice cream on Main Street. Yeah.
The number of girls I've walked around Two Good Pond on my dates when I was young. We just like go for a walk around Two Good Pond.
Yeah. You're either there to go for a walk or to go for a breakup. I've had a breakup there.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. Poor girl. I feel bad for her.
Yeah, it was mutual. It was fine.
That's okay.
It happens.
How about Raptors or Leafs?
Raptors.
Okay.
I will say, I'm going to say it here. There are two sports I actually get bored very easily: hockey and baseball.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I could watch football till the end of the world. I could watch soccer. I could watch golf and still be entertained. Hockey and baseball don't do it for me.
DJ Mike don't. No baseball, no hockey. No. Baseball sometimes, if you didn't grow up with baseball, it can be tough, right? Because it's slow. It is slow. But hockey's not.
No, hockey's not.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For some reason, I just can't get into watching a full game of hockey.
Yeah.
Golf is slow.
Yeah.
But when it's like a par 3, I'm like, you better hit that. Like I'll get all antsy for golf. Surprisingly.
I love it. Well, you derailed me off of the rapid fire, so I'm gonna take us away from there. I'm gonna take us away from there. So tell me, if I were to ask you what projects do you have in your life you want people to know about? What is it? Like, is it your DJing? Is there a hobby you're keeping secret from everybody that you want people to know about a little bit more?
There are hobbies I'm keeping secret. I'm still trying to figure out content for them before I put them out. Okay. I already have all the social media and everything there, all the handles, everything's. It's just for me. As soon as I come up with the content, it'll drop. Okay.
So you know that I'm a very big Marshall Mathers fan. And you know that because when I show up at the club, I tend to like make my way over to the DJ booth. I'm like, play Eminem. Yeah. But you said to me he's not your favorite. He's not your favorite.
He's highly skilled, but he's highly skilled, highly talented. Like, I can't disregard that. But no, I think because the start of his career, it just the whole making fun of people just to try to get big. It didn't do it for me. It's like the game. I don't like the game. He name dropped people so much. It's like, no, this is a turnoff. Rap about something else instead of saying this or that. It's just, no. So
you're not about the clapbacks?
I am about the clapbacks.
Because I don't know. I've heard your playlists, man. For sure. So it was just that's how he made it. That's how he made it.
Yeah, that kind of just like rubbed me the wrong way. Like, hey, you're chasing and making diss tracks with like Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears. It's like,
it's a lot.
If you're chasing after women and dissing them, then no, I'm like, no, I can't.
You know what? Can I tell you? Can I tell you something? I respect that. I really do, and I respect you saying that.
But don't be wrong. I still think he's a highly talented rapper. He's very skilled.
He's also and we can be fair. He's not the only rapper to say bad things about people. But
no, for sure.
But that's helpful. That's helpful. Yeah. So when you get to the end of the night, like let's say you're at the end of the night and like the temperature's up, things are moving, people are starting to make their on the way to the dance. How do you light the place on fire? What do you drop?
Let's see. It depends, but a lot of time, like I'll just drop Jay-Z's Paris, or I'll drop something from like Kanye's Can't Tell Me Nothing, like something that's just the classic stuff everyone just kind of just loves. What else is there? It depends on the venue. Like one venue, I don't play as much now because I'm so much at Kissa, Vatican Gift Shop in the East End. Yeah. You could drop some Kelly Clarkson. You could drop like old Brunny style music.
For real, eh?
And just the place just lights up. It all depends on the venue, but like usually there's like I said, drop Can't Tell Me Nothing Kanye. No matter how many people hate or love him right now, that will always sell.
No, you can say whatever you want about Kanye, and he would admit, and I think we all know, like many of us, he struggles with pretty serious mental health issues. But the guy's brilliant. He is, right? Like, he's a lyrical genius, and he's brilliant, and he's made some amazing music. So it's still worth listening to. That's for damn sure.
But I feel bad for people who've worked with them though, because some of them complain just about the effort sometimes they put through with their music, and it's just like that's all I got out of it. And it's like it's one artist in particular. He worked with him on the Yeezus album, and he said after that process, he's like, I'm not working with Kanye ever again.
I've heard that before too. I don't know. I wonder if anyone wanted to work with Michelangelo or Picasso or some of those other crazy guys. You know, like there's truth to that, right? Sometimes you can be just genius enough to be just crazy enough for no one to get you while you're alive.
100%.
Know what I mean?
Well, that's 808 Heartbreaks. Everyone's like, what's this?
Yeah.
Or when Andre 3000 dropped Love Below.
Totally.
Everyone's like, what's this?
Totally.
But listen to it now and you're like, those are classics.
Best concert you've ever been to?
The first time Kanye came into Toronto, and he did is at Sound Academy.
Yeah.
Or the Docks.
Yeah.
Or now
the
Rebel.
Docks. Oh my God. I haven't heard somebody say the Docks in years.
When he did the first time he came to Toronto and performed the College Dropout.
Yeah.
It was the week after it came out. And it was amazing to see. Like the CD album was only out for like a week or so. But it was amazing to see everybody sing along to every single song in that club. I was just like in awe.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is something special. And this is, Louis Vuitton Don, his whole backpacker, his Jesus piece, like is that era Kanye. Yeah. But it was just amazing to see.
Very cool.
He just had everyone captivated. I've seen Kanye a few times before, and now the big arenas shows, I've never been to those ones, but I've seen him a few times, and it's just like that one particularly was like, wow.
I had a very cool experience last summer, and it may be the best concert I've ever been to. But it was at the beer festival over at Bandshell, and I saw Ice Cube, and we were growing up, and I wasn't allowed to listen to Ice Cube. You know what I mean? Like, and to see him, to see him live at 42 years old was pretty damn cool. So
that would be cool.
It was very cool. What's the biggest crowd you've ever spun in front of?
I maybe the Craft Beer Fest.
Okay.
Would that be it? I think it would be the Craft Beer Fest.
A few thousand people?
Looked like it.
Yeah.
I just remember we're at the height of the night, Saturday night, and just going at it. And like, once again, the sing-along songs. You could just cut the music, hear everybody sing along. You could, like, if I was to show you Instagram video of it, or this video I have on my phone, it's just a huge sea of people and just everyone going at it. I'm like, this was a fun night.
Love it.
Yeah, I think that. So I don't even know how many people. I don't even know how many people. Maybe just under 1,000. Yeah. I can't remember, but it was just like it was a sea of people.
Very cool.
It was like a huge sea of people.
Well, Mike, it's been good to have you here on the Blue Eyed Devil podcast. I'm a big fan of yours, and it's more than just about your music. As I said in the opening, I'm a big fan of people who show up for other people. I really am, and your answer about Eminem made it even more so for me, because you're also a guy who shows up for women. You are, right? Like you are, right? Like you're a deeply respectful guy who I know a lot of people love. So it's
thank you.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you here, man. It really is.
It's great to be here. Since the first time you asked me, like, we have to make it work.
Yeah,
figure it out.
No, it's very cool. All right, well, I will certainly be seeing you again soon, because I don't live far from your venues, and I do enjoy making an appearance from time to time. But this has been the Blue Eyed Devil podcast, streaming on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and 403LC. You can see DJ Mike Don't at Kissa Nightclub on King Street, and at Bar Poet on Monday nights. Be well on the journey.